Hello, everyone. My name is Katrina. I am a licensed realtor in Hinesville, Georgia. And I came up to my office to start creating some content for my YouTube channel and my TikTok. And I decided that I was just going to start recording and just tell a little story about myself. They say we need to start making content that'll help us generate more business. This is what I'm hearing. Or help us locate more leads and possibly turn those leads into clients and then head into the closing table. I've never been the one to actually sit in front of a camera and talk. I've always been an introvert, surprisingly. It may not seem that way if you look at my TikToks. But as a little girl, I was very shy and always felt that no one liked me. So I want to tell you a little story about a little girl that was born and raised in Panama City, Florida. As a little girl, growing up in a predominantly African-American or Black neighborhood, I was probably one of the lighter-skinned individuals with hazel eyes. So now that I'm older, I really understand what that word colorism means. Because I felt like I didn't belong. However, I loved my family, and I'd hoped my family loved me. Never really had any friends. I had one real friend growing up as a child. I met her in the 6th grade. Sorry, Pam. Sometimes I thought she just felt sorry for me because no one seemed to like me. And then there was my husband, who was my boyfriend. We wasn't supposed to have boyfriends, but he became my boyfriend in the end of the 6th grade, and we dated all through high school. Got married, had children, and have since divorced. But back to when I was a little girl. People never know what your struggles are or what people are dealing with throughout the course of their life. And we grew up in a society, we have grown up in a society, and now our children are growing up in a society that is so judgmental. And everything is digital. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Everybody want to see what somebody's doing or trying to do. Or either with me. I won't say guilty, but I partake in it. I like to see how people's going to react to me, my content when I put out. But when I was a little girl, my mother and father divorced when I was 14. I've never told my mother this story. My grandfather came to visit, and he was at my father's home where we used to live. We had since moved out to another place when mom and dad divorced. And we lived a couple of blocks away from where I originally lived. And my grandfather was visiting from New Jersey. In our neighborhood, everybody knew everyone. And it was dark. And I wanted to go see my granddaddy because he was here in town. So my mom allowed me to go because nothing never really happens in our neighborhood. So I thought I was going to be smart and take the shorter route by going on the highway where there was a lot of lights instead of walking through the neighborhood, because I got there faster walking along the highway. So as I'm walking along the highway, and I get probably within a couple of, probably about 20 feet away from my dad's house, a mobile home. And this gentleman turns the corner and pulls in and blocks me in by this corner store that we know as Name Alone's. People that grew up in my neighborhood will know the place I'm talking about. It's a corner store we bought all of our candy from. I mean, we got food from there. Just everything that we could possibly get that we didn't get from the grocery store, we got from this store. However, this man turned in and blocked me in. And he was a Caucasian man. I can see his face to this day. And he stopped me and asked me for directions. He said he was lost. So me being a child, I didn't know any better, 14. So I'm trying to give him directions to get back on the highway to get him into the direction he was trying to go in. So he said. So he said he couldn't hear me. So me, not knowing any better, I walked a little closer to the car to tell him what I wanted to tell him. And before I know it, he opened the door and he reached to grab me. And next thing I knew, I don't know what it was that came over me, but I hollered and screamed and took off running to my dad's place. Got there, got my composure, never said anything to my dad. Got in there and talked to my granddaddy, hugged, kissed, loved on him. And do you know, I walked back home. But I went through the neighborhood that I was used to. Even though it was dark, but everybody in the neighborhood knew everyone. So to this day, that haunts me because I could still see his face. I knew what type of car he had. He had a Camaro, a brown Camaro. He had brown hair, brown beard, brown eyes, jeans on. So the reason why I say this is because, like I said, people don't know what people are dealing with and what they go through in life. I never had any friends, like I said. But I can go on my Facebook page and see I got over 800 friends, probably. I don't know if it's that many, but are they really my friends? No. So I decided to embark on a career of becoming a nurse. I was a CNA as a child, well, as a teenager right out of high school. So I originally wanted to be a hygienist, but decided to go ahead and apply for the nursing program because I was a CNA in the nursing home. Got accepted into the nursing program, and I wasn't your traditional student. I had children. My youngest son I put in kindergarten, and I went off to school. My husband joined the military before we had, well, right out of high school. I won't say right out of high school. And then we got the chance to travel. I don't regret anything that happened in my life now that we're divorced, but we was given birth to two beautiful boys who are now grown individuals, living their lives. But once I came back from Germany, I decided to go to school to become a nurse. Became a nurse, been a nurse for 18 years. So I decided also now that I want to branch away from nursing because I'm tired. I decided to embark on a career in real estate because my agent that sold me my home made it look so easy. Boy, am I surprised and shocked. It is not easy. We live in a cruel world, and nowadays people are so more uptight than ever before than what I can remember. So it's hard out here to get in people to even allow you to even approach them, to even speak to them. People feel that you have a motive behind just talking to somebody or striking up a conversation, or you handed them a little gift bag, or you handed them something. Let me give you something. You look like you need a treat today, or you just have a blessed day, and they're looking at you like, okay, what next? Why are you handing me this? But I've realized growing up as a child that you would treat people as they wish to be treated. We used to say, treat people how I want to be treated. But we need to treat people how they wish to be treated. And I know growing up in the church, I hear that all the time. I grew up in the church. I grew up in the church as well. But that's all I did do was grow up in the church. I was raised in the church. But did I learn anything about the church? No. Didn't learn that until I left home and learned more about the church and God and building a relationship with God. And I just wish, and I see a lot of people today, I know I have a good heart. Now, if you cross me, that's probably it. But we as people, as God meets you where you're at, I always say this, we need to meet each other where they're at. Stop being so judgmental. Stop always having an opinion. Just show love, laugh, smile. Shoot. It just breaks my heart sometimes. Lord, I don't know. Don't be cruel. Stop being cruel. Just smile sometimes. See? It's not that hard. But I just like to thank God that, I have made it thus far. I could have been an abducted child. Could have been dead and gone. And to this day, like I said, I don't think I've ever told my mother this story. Nor my father. Rest his soul. People, learn to love yourself and not be looking for validation from other people. Whatever God you serve, higher being, higher calling you, energy that you relate to, look to that source for your health and your motivation. Because I tell you what, if you rely on man is going to disappoint you every time. So, do not set your treasures up on this earth. All this stuff that me trying to get people to come and let me sell them a home, or let me list their home, or just let me represent them as a real estate agent. All this stuff is going to still be here when I'm dead and gone. So I'm not going to stress it. I tell myself every day that my walk is different than that other agent's walk. Just like my walk with my Father, Heavenly Father, or God, or whatever you choose to call it. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nissi is different than each individual's walk. So those of you that feel like you have already arrived, you'll never arrive. But as long as you're striving to get there, that's what he sees. So stop thinking that you have to convict other people when they have not been convicted of that yet, just because you have been. Lord, I'm rambling now, Jesus. I don't know. This comes from when you don't have nobody to talk to. But I just thank God that I'm able to still sit here. And I thank him each morning that he wakes me, and his grace is new every day. And I've learned yesterday that he gives you just enough to get you through that day. He gives you enough peace, enough grace, enough love, enough hope to get you through that day. Then he tells you, when he gives it to you, now if you need more, you need to come on back to me tomorrow. So I'm going to keep coming back every day. Because that's the only way I'm going to grow and be a better person. So, let me get back to what I was trying to do. Oh, and by the way, I am a notary as well. So I wear many hats. Whether or not those hats fit, I'm working on it. So please go and be blessed. Whether you listen to this video or not, oh well. But it's something I felt I had to say. There's plenty more I can say. But I'll be on here much longer, and people's attention span is very, very small. You might even only look at 2 minutes of this, if that. Probably 30 seconds. But who actually wants to sit and listen to somebody just talk? But anyway, be blessed. Deuces.